Hey everybody, today we're going to go over the skills practice and we're going to do the odds together, so let's try this out. So in circle R, AC and EB are diameters, so that means EB is here and AC is here. Those are both diameters, which means we're going to know that it's a semicircle when you do that. Find each measure. So we're looking for angle measure here. Angle ERD, so this is this one here. Okay, so before we do anything, we're going to take the information they give us and just start calculating these angles. So we know this is a diameter, therefore these three angles are going to all add up to 180 degrees because it's a semicircle. So we're going to calculate what those all are right now. Even if we don't need to, it'll help us out. So I'm going to use a different piece of paper because there's just not a lot of room on this. You're going to find out with these. So 4x plus 15x plus 3 plus 7x minus 5 equals 180 degrees. We're just going to solve for x, and once we find x, we'll go back and find these angles. So 4x plus 15x is 19x. 19x plus 7x would be 26x. 26x. Cross those out. We did all that. I guess I should have used, there we go. 3 minus 5 is going to be negative 2. And now we just solve this algebraically. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. We're going to have 26x equals 182. We're now going to divide by our coefficient, which is 26. And I don't know my 26 tables. Do you guys? Maybe you do. I'd be impressed if anybody knows the 26 tables. It's a rather obscure table. So okay, so it's 7. So x is equal to 7. Now we can go ahead and back and find out what all these angles are. So 4 times 7 is 28. So that's 28 degrees. This one I'm not sure. So 7 times 15. So I should actually write this all out. So 15x plus 3, 15 times 7 plus 3, 15 times 7 is going to be 105. 105 plus 3 is 108. So this is 108. And this last one, we have 7x minus 5. X again is 7, so 7 times 7 minus 5. 7 times 7 is 49. 49 take away 5 is 44 degrees. Now those should all add up 180 degrees. Let's just make sure of that. So we have 28 plus 108 plus, one second, I screwed that up, plus 44. 180, yep, it works. Okay, so now we'll be good. Also, since we know these are intersecting diameters, we know that these angles would be vertical, so that would be 44 degrees. And we also know that this is another semicircle, so therefore these two angles would have to add up to 180 degrees. So we can simply subtract 44 from 180 and find out what this is, which I believe would be 136, but let's just double check. 180 minus 44, yep, 136. So we have all the central angles, which is going to make our lives a lot easier. So ERD. ERD would be from E to R to D. This one, so it's 28 degrees. Number 3, BRC is 44 degrees. BRC is right here, 44 degrees. And ARE, this one right here, ARE is 44 degrees. Okay. All right, let's check the next one. I'll leave the others for you to do. So in circle A, which is over here, we know because it's the center of the circle. In circle A, PAU, which is right here, this angle here is 40 degrees. So go ahead and write that in there. And PAU is congruent to SAT. SAT is right here, so that's 40 degrees. Okay. RAS is also congruent to TAU. So RAS here. So these two are congruent to one another. All right, I guess we'll call those x and x. That's fine. Find each measure. So again, we're going to find out what we know. We know that this. Oh, we don't know that that is a. PQ. I guess we'll. See, here's the thing. We don't know that PR is a diameter. It looks like it is, and it looks like QT is a diameter, but they don't tell us that, which is curious. Anyway, I think we're going to have to assume that given what they drew for us, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and answer the ones we definitely know. So arc PQ is this arc here. It corresponds to this angle PAQ, so that would be 90 degrees as well, just because that's 90 degrees. Arc ST, which is here, corresponds to that angle. That'd be 40 degrees. and arc RSU, which would be these. Yeah, see, we have to assume that these are diameters. That's the only way you could solve this, actually. So if this is a diameter, that means this would be 90 because they have to be supplementary. And these four angles would have to add up to 180 degrees. So let's go ahead and calculate what x would be, so therefore we can find out what those missing angles are. So 40 plus x plus 40 plus x equals 180 degrees. 40 plus 40 is 80. X plus x is 2x. And let's go ahead and solve for x. So we're going to subtract 80 from both sides. So 2x would be equal to 100 degrees. And then we're going to divide by 2. And x would be equal to 50. Okay. All right, so that means this is 50. And again, they didn't tell us that, but I think we kind of have to assume that. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am on that one. RSU, so from here to here. So we're going to have these three added together. So 50 plus 40 plus 50. I'm going to write that out. So 50 plus 40 plus 50, which would be 140. RSU, yeah. And PQS, which would be from here, PQS. So it's all the way across. Again, this is 90. So 90 plus 90 plus 50. So 90 plus 90 plus 50 is going to be 180 plus 50, which is 230. Okay, so that's 230 degrees. Oops. Oh my goodness, can I draw today? There we go. All right, and the last few, I'll let you guys do the evens on your own. The last few here, we got the diameter of circle D is 18 units long. Find the length of each arc for the given angle measure. Piece of paper here, hold on. There we go, okay. So, all right, so the diameter is 18. Okay, so the diameter is 18. So that means we need to find the circumference. So let's find that first. So C equals 2 pi r, or C equals D times pi. So D is 18, so the circumference is going to be 18 pi units. Okay, that's going to be important. And I'll remind you that the proportion we're going to use is going to be arc over 360 equals arc length. Why did I put a variable there? Arc length over circumference. Okay, so the angle of the arc is going to be over 360. LM, find arc LM if LDM is 100. So LDM is here, this is 100, which means the angle of LM would be 100. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and plug this in. So 100 is going to be the arc here, over 360, equals arc length, which we don't know, over circumference, which is 18 pi. And we just simply solve this. So we can get rid of the zeros, 10 over 36, divide them both by 2, I guess. So we're going to get 5 over 18. So 5 over 18 equals L, I'm going to zoom in so you can see I'm drawing kind of small. L over 18 pi. We're going to cross multiply here, so we're going to have 5 times 18, which is going to be 90. So we're going to have 90 pi equals 18L. We're then going to divide by 18 because that is our coefficient. And I believe we're going to end up with 5. But we should. Yep, so 5 pi. So the arc length would be 5 pi units. Okay. So 5 pi units. Okay. Let's try the next one. Let's zoom in out a little bit more. It's kind of tricky here. Okay. So find, oh geez. Here we go. Find the arc length of KL if KDL is 60. So KDL is here. So if this is 60, that means the arc measure, well, the arc angle here is going to be 60 as well. So we're going to go ahead and write that here. So, yeah, focus over a little bit. There you go. That's better. All right, so, okay, we're going to go ahead and fill this in. So, again, arc over 360, arc length over circumference. So we're going to have 60 over 360. This is number 17. And then we don't know what the arc length is, but we know that the circumference is going to be 18 pi. We go ahead and simplify this. 6 over 36 is going to be 1/6. I think most people are actually going to run into trouble when it comes to simplification. If simplification is giving you a hard time, if this step is confusing you, just cross multiply. You don't need to do this. And I have a feeling this is probably going to confuse some people if they try to simplify it. So if you're having trouble with this step here, just go ahead and cross multiply it, like just like the way it is, and you'll be fine. So we're going to cross multiply here. 18 pi equals 6L. Divide by our coefficient, which is 6. And we should end up with L equals 3 pi units. Yep. Okay, last one we're going to do, arc KLM. So arc KLM is this one right here, and that's going to be 160 degrees. If KDM is, well, yeah, we already knew those. Oh, that's weird. They did that. All right, so let's see, let's scroll down a little bit more here. So we're going to go ahead and go 19. So it's going to be 160 degrees. Yep. Over 360. And this last one, I'll just do it the way I said. If it's going to be confusing for you to simplify it, we will just cross multiply right here. This might be easier for folks. So we'll cross multiply. Just make sure you're using a calculator because these numbers are going to be out of control. So we have 160 times 18, which is going to be, you see what I'm saying? Pretty big numbers. 2,880 equals 360L. But if you have a calculator, it's actually not that complicated. Just plug the numbers in. And we're going to divide that by 360. Oops, I'm going to write it up first for you. Always write it down before you go to calculate. Don't just go calculate a calculator. Always show your steps. We have 8. Oh, and that should be a, sorry, that should be a pi. I forgot that. So it should be 8 pi. Yeah, so I have a feeling this might be easier for folks rather than simplifying that, so I apologize if that was confusing. 8 pi units, and that is that. So I hope that helps. I hope I didn't confuse people more. Let me know if you still have questions on this, and I'll be good to go. All right, thanks, guys.